All right. The name is Delman, aka Four Eyes the Ugly Professor, doing the album review for the new Xzibit X to the Z. The name of the album is called Kingmaker. This album review is done on behalf of the Old Heads Network. Alright, Xzibit hasn't dropped the album prior to this one since 2012 with Napalm. And that seems to be the trend, well, I say the last few years, where you got these vets going years before dropping new albums. And then you had like Slick Rick is supposed to be dropping a new album this year called Victory. He hasn't dropped the album since the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Then you had LL Cool J last year when he dropped The Force. I think prior to that, his album, he had an album that came out in like 2012. The same year as Xzibit, I think. And then you got Clips coming out this year with an album together, the two brothers. They haven't dropped the album together in like 15 years. So that seems to be the trend. These vets coming out with new material and haven't dropped the album in like years. I'm talking about years and years, almost like 2 decades in some cases. So he hasn't dropped the album since 2012. The name of the joint was called Napalm, Xzibit I'm talking about. And that joint wasn't good. I'm just going to be honest. It wasn't good. You had a few joints on there like Louis the 13th featuring King T and the Alcoholics. That was a banger. That was like one of the very few songs on there that I can remember that was good. And his last 3 albums, to be honest, prior to this new album, were not good. Like I said, Napalm wasn't good. Full Circle, which he dropped in 2006, wasn't good. Weapons of Mass Destruction that he dropped in 2004, that wasn't good. So prior to Kingmaker, the last solid album that Xzibit put out was Man vs. Machine in 2020. No, 2002. My mistake. 2002 is when he dropped Man vs. Machine. That was very solid. I dig that joint. That had some bangers on there. And this is Xzibit's 8th solo studio album. His first album dropped in like 1996 at the Speed of Life. It showed a lot of promise. He had like that classic song on there, speaking on fatherhood. Had a video for it. That was like one of his singles on that joint, besides Paparazzi. And I think his 1998 album called 40 Days and 40 Nights is his best album. Even better than his new joint. And his new joint is good. He had the classic video, one of the best videos ever made for the song What You See Is What You Get Now. That video is bananas. I love that video. Still one of the best rap videos to this day. And like I said, that album, 40 Days and 40 Nights, dropped in 1998. To me, that's his best album to date. And hearing from a few folks that I know and I respect, they was telling me how dope the new album, Kingmaker, was prior to me hearing it. And I was like, the first half of it, I was like, okay, it's cool, but it ain't like what these niggas was saying. They made it out like this is a bang. And I was like, it's cool. It ain't bad, but it ain't like they were making it out to be. But from track 8, I would say pretty much on to the end of the joint, it gets nasty. It's ugly face music. Got some very strong songs on like the second half of the album. So I was like, okay, now I see what they talking about. Now I get what they were saying. And some of the standout songs, you got standout songs such as Play This at My Funeral. I believe that was the first single. He has a video for it. Good way to start the album off. Everywhere I Go, produced by Them Joints. That's a banger. The hook is kind of iffy, but the beat and the rhyme is so nasty that I can overlook that hook. The hook is it's okay. And you got another joint called Earth Is Over. I like that joint a lot. And You got tracks like History, Genesis, Perfect Alibi, American Idols featuring Simba, and then you got Crash featuring Royce the 5'9". History, Genesis, Perfect Alibi, American Idols, and Crash are bangers. They are bangers. They are official. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then you got a joint. The joint I really dig this joint that called Success that Will I Am from Black Eyed Peas produced. It's like a jazzy spoken word. It's like some jazzy spoken word rap shit. I dig it. I like the approach to it. It's different. Then you got Notify featuring King T and Code 187 from Above the Law. I really love this song. I think it's just King T rapping on this joint. I don't think Xzibit even raps on this joint. But I love it. King T got his man on that joint. Then you got another joint called What You Like. That's pretty good. And The End of the Day. And the song Kingmaker, the title track, that ends the album off. That's like I said, that second half goes. It makes the album legit. It makes the album official. You got songs such as The Moment featuring Busta Rhymes and Jason Martin. You got another joint called Leave Me Alone featuring Dr. Dre. Dre get his man on that joint. I know he probably ain't write it, but he rapping his ass off on there. I like his flow and his voice on that joint. And Ty Dolla $ign is on that song as well. He's featured on that song. And it's produced by Swiss Beats and Dr. Dre. And Belly of the Beast featuring Jason Martin. And Shut Your Mouth, produced by Battle Cat. And another joint called Higher featuring Redman and Be Real from Cypress Hill. I thought all those songs were just solid, not bad. And most of those songs are like in the first half of the album. So I was thinking, these niggas talking about this joint is a banger. It's like one of the best joints so far this year. I was like, eh. But like I said, when that eighth track come in, then that's when everything kicks off, in my opinion. And you know, you got a few songs on there I didn't care for. Like you got a joint called It's Been a Long Time Part 2. I didn't really care for that. And you got another joint called For the Love featuring Ice Cube. I didn't really care for that either. They try to flip that Mobb Deep Quiet Storm beat. It ain't work for me. It just didn't work for me. I ain't care for that song. But overall, man, this album is official. I will give this a strong B+, teetering on an A-. I'm gonna say it's an A-. It barely gets to that A- because, like I said, there's only like 2 or 3 songs I really didn't care for. It had some songs I thought they okay, they all right. You know, I gotta be in the mood for it. Like that joint with Redman and Be Real. I thought it's not bad. You know, it's okay. You know, even the joint with Dr. Dre, even though I like the way Dr. Dre sounds on the joint, I thought the joint was, it's okay, it's all right, it's not bad, you know. And the joint with Busta Rhymes, at first I didn't care for that song. I was like, And then, you know, after listening to the album a few more times, like, it's okay, it's all right. So I'm saying strong B+, maybe barely hitting the A-. So that's it. I'm done. I'm finished. Please subscribe, like, and all that good shit. Even if you didn't like the review, even if you don't agree with me, like the shit anyway. I'm out.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.